in a matter of moments, we're going to be joined by the new UFC welterweight champion, Kamaru Usman. Won the belt just a couple of weeks ago against Tyron Woodley in Las Vegas. He's the king now at 170 pounds. Recently had surgery, double hernia, which is insane. I've never heard of something like that before. That just seems really, really painful. And now everyone wondering when he'll return, against who? Colby, the issue with him. That could be one of the more anticipated title fights of 2019. They have a story that dates back to last year. Remember that press conference in Brooklyn prior to UFC 223? There's a lot there. His brother just won in Titan FC. A lot going on in the life of Kamaru Usman, so I'm looking forward to catching up with him in a matter of moments. And after that, we're going to be joined by the California dad himself, Uriah Faber. And then after that, Jacare Souza. And then we shall wrap up the day with Royce White. A reminder that the UFC is back this weekend on ESPN. It's UFC Philadelphia. It's Justin Gaethje against Edson Barboza. Dave Branch on the card. Michelle Watterson on the card. Sabina Mazo on the card. A who's who. That's this weekend. I'll be there. But for now, let us say hello to our next guest. Great to talk to the new champ, the new king at 170 pounds, the one and only Kamaru Usman joins us right now via the magic of Skype. Kamaru, how are you, my friend?
What's going on, Ariel?
It's good. It's good to talk to you. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. So we're around 3 weeks removed from you making history, first African-born champion. Life as champion has finally set in. What is it like? Is it different than you expected?
Nothing's different. I mean, I've known for a while inside that I was going to be the champion. It's just now that everyone is starting to see it. You know, now it's solidified with everybody. But I've known for a while. Have I not always looked like the champion? I mean, when I show up at these fights, I do everything that a champion does. I exude everything that it takes to be a champion. I dress like a champion. I walk like a champion. And I talk like a champion. It's just now everybody's starting to see what I've been saying all along.
Do you feel like you're getting more love because you're a champion?
I don't, this is not about that. I don't do it for the love. I don't do it. I chose to do this because I love competing. That's what was fueling me. I was competing, and in the sense of, competing, I found a way to be able to provide for my beautiful daughter and my family. So, that's the main thing that's important to me. That's why I'm doing this.
By the way, that tuxedo that you wore on fight night, I mean, that was special. I don't know if you could wear that again because it was so memorable. It was so nice.
I know, that's the thing with, really actually coming out here and looking good like that, is the fact that you can only wear these things once because there's so many photographs out there of you.
Yeah.
I have a couple of shirts that, some of the most expensive things that I've ever spent money on. And after wearing it one go, there's so many pictures out about it that I'm just like, dang, I don't know if I could wear that again.
I know. I mean, that jacket was just phenomenal. Well done on that decision. What's the best thing, the best byproduct of being a champion so far? Something happened behind the scenes, someone reach out to you, a moment, anything come to mind?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a ton of those. I mean, there's been a lot of that's just kind of how the way the world works is it's kind of like show and prove. Once you start to do something, incredible, then people kind of start noticing and people want to kind of, big up you or give you props. But, that's all fine and dandy. I think the biggest and my favorite part about it now is the fact that I don't have to go hunting for fights anymore.
Yes.
They have to come to me now. So that's the only thing. That's the main thing that I'm excited about.
I can't imagine. Yeah, I mean, that's just an amazing byproduct because there's so much politics involved, and I know you've been frustrated in the past about that, so that must feel very good. That moment that you had with your daughter in the cage, that's one of my favorite moments. I don't know if she will appreciate it now. Certainly in 10, 15 years, she will appreciate it. Did she say anything to you afterwards when you guys were alone about that?
The funny thing is now, for some reason, I don't know, my daughter's so smart and so advanced. One of the biggest things now that she likes to do is she'll just out of the blue, Daddy, I'm so proud of you.
Wow.
You won your fight. And I'm just like, I don't want, I don't know how to react in that moment. It's like, should I cry? Should I just pick her up and give her a big hug and give her a kiss. But I think about 3 or 4 different occasions now she said that to me, Daddy, I'm so proud of you. And then she'll recall the moment. She always asks me like, "Daddy, remember I was on TV? Me and you was on TV at your fight in Las Vegas." And so, that's kind of some of the most memorable things right now that I see her. I feel like she gets it, but I won't really understand until she's an adult.
How old is she?
She's 4.5.
She's only 4.5.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! I thought she was like 8.
No, she's 4.5. The greatest thing about that moment is a lot of people do visualizations and things like that. I do. It's not like I sit in a room quiet and just, visualize, but it's little moments like whether I'm in the middle of training and little moments that I visualize things going on, or whether I'm in the sauna and I just visualize and talk to myself. Or my favorite place is the morning in the mirror after I brush my teeth. I visualize that moment so many times of having my hand raised and having that belt wrapped around me and just picking my daughter up. I would say that is probably one of the only things that I could even just kind of recall in my visualizations through that process after the fight. The whole speech, the questions from Joe, I don't really remember a lot of it. That was just I just poured out my heart. Whatever was in there is what I said that night.
The moment afterwards, with you and Tyron's mom, of course, that went viral. Everyone loved that. What was? I mean, I don't even know if anything was going through your mind, because you could tell you were very emotional. You had just been through the fight. You just realized your dream. But for his mom to embrace you like that and to say what she said to you, do you remember what you thought as that was happening?
Yeah, like I visualized a little piece of that as well because I know Mama Wood, and she's such a spectacular woman. I mean, shout out to Mama Wood, but I visualize that a piece is how would this go down? How would everyone react once I do this? Once I go out there and I actually do defeat Tyron Woodley, and so I thought about it because I've seen her do that before. That's just how she is. She's just a spectacular woman. She did that for Darren Till when Darren lost. She went back there and consoled him and spoke to him. And so I envisioned that a little bit, but it was just something about it. And like I said, I've spent a little bit of time with her, so I know her a little bit. So it was the moment of just me walking back there and just really, she broke me. She broke me down because I was walking by and I really kind of just foggy vision walking towards my dressing room, and then I see her and she says something, kind of lightly, and for some reason I just my ears just gravitated towards her, and I saw her, and then I just kind of walked towards her. I just had to embrace her, and she just broke me with her words. She broke me down, and it's like I said, I have this chip on my shoulder that I've had for years and years and years all through my life, and she broke right through that to where I couldn't even really talk to her. All I could just do was listen, take in what she was saying, and just cry on her shoulder.
Do you feel like the chip is gone now?
No, the chip is never gone. I mean, my there's a lot of different things, a lot of different situations that I'm still dealing with, but that chip is never gone. I've been underestimated for years and years and years, and I'm still underestimated. I mean, you had this one guy my whole fight week of me about to fight for the title saying that I'm not good enough. I can't wrestle with this guy because I didn't go to a Division 1 college. That I can't strike with this guy. That there was nothing that I can do as well as this guy. And then you had another jabroni over here going, "Oh, how does it feel? You're about to get knocked out by this guy. You're trash. You're nothing. You're nobody. You go back to your country. This and that. All kind of trash." And you know what? I just shrugged that off my shoulder. You guys can do what you want. You can say what you want, but I know who I am on the inside, and I know what I possess, and I think I showed that March 2nd.
So we know about what happened in the buildup, but like the moment you leave the cage, there's Colby. The Sunday after at the Palms, there's Colby. You have the altercation. Did you feel like that stuff was overshadowing your moment?
No, nothing can overshadow my moment. Hats off to Kobe. He did his job. He did what he was supposed to do because this train was passing him by. This bus was passing him by, and so what he wanted to do was just kind of keep his name in the running the whole week, and he did a good job of that. come into the fight and all that with all that spectacle and trying to crash my whole workout and all that. He did a good job of that, but hats off to him. But as you see, when I see him in the buffet line, like this is the thing is, we're walking up and we see him standing there in the buffet line like a loser. And this is a guy that goes out and boasts, "Oh, I'm in my private jet. I got this, and that. I got this money. I'm having orgies. I'm doing all this." You're waiting in a buffet line. Granted, yes, the Palms Casino, one of the best hotels right now in Las Vegas. You're in there, but you're standing in the buffet line like a loser. And we walk up to him, and I was the first one, like I was the first one that saw him. I was the first one like right in his face. If I really wanted, I could have gave him a 3-piece and a biscuit and slid out as well. But I didn't want to do that because I realized to myself, you know what? I'm not about to mess up my money. Like now I get the opportunity to really do what I want, and that's fight this man in an octagon in front of millions and millions of fans that I've been wanting to do for years now. I get that chance. But my manager, Ali, doesn't get that chance. So Colby ran his mouth. He said a lot of things to a lot of different people, especially with Ali. Colby ran in, called him a terrorist, called him all this, talked about his family. He's running off at the mouth. And when we seen him there, I tried to control Ali. I couldn't. I mean, I'm talking bitch slap, dirty smack. He smacked the dog shit out of Colby. And I know Colby got on here lying, saying that, oh, they didn't touch him. He got smacked heavily. We got the real video.
Okay.
He got smacked, and his security was, you could just see the look on his face, was praying for dear life that we didn't really want to try to hurt him, because if we wanted to, it would have been bad. We would have hurt him. But you know what? Like, you saw me in this. I was trying to de-escalate the situation, but when you talk about somebody like that, and you talking about us now, we're not just any old body. Like, you talking about an African man like that. Talk about his family. You call him a terrorist. You talking all this. I was trying to hold him back. Like, he would have ripped Kobe up right there. And then you see the video. You're a tough guy. You're a fighter in the cage. You're hiding behind an elderly woman. You were hiding. And who does that? You're hiding. And then, like, what a sucker move. You pull your phone out. You're in the middle of a crisis here. You're a professional fighter. You pull your phone out. I'm going to document this. I'm going to document this. I'm documenting. What are you guys doing? Why are you guys acting like thugs? Bro, you were talking all that stuff online, but now they press you and you want to cry wolf. Oh, you acting like thugs. And then you see him. He get on the phone. And then he got on your show and he said, oh, I was calling my chicks. Oh, that sounded like you calling your chicks? No, you were calling the cops once again. Or you were calling your manager. Let's be real. He got on the phone. Yes, it was 3 of them, 3 black guys. They were trying to get me. You talked a lot of shit. You've said a lot of things, and like, I don't mention his name anymore because you're a non-factor, bro. You're a non-factor. You've ducked me 5 times, 5 different occasions. I can name every single one. We all know him. He was supposed to fight me again in January. He ducked that. That's why I got the title shot over him, And this is my whole key point. He's trying to hide behind this whole make America great again. I'm an American, this and that for the troops. You're not American. You're trying to use America. I'm more American than he is. Of course, I have Nigerian blood flowing all through me. I'm Nigerian to the core, but I'm more American than Colby Covington is. I'm what it is to be American. I'm the immigrant, immigrated here. Worked hard to get to the point and get to the situation that I am now. I mean, I'm all work, all hard work. I didn't ask for a handout. I worked my way there. He's the type of guy that feels that he's entitled. The whole time you see him, he's talking to Dana White. Give me my title shot. I deserve my title shot. This is mine. No, you don't deserve anything. I worked for it. The reason I got the title shot is because Dana White was like, oh man, this guy's working. He wanted me to fight. I could have cried and said, after the whole me making weight in Dallas and I didn't get to fight, I could have cried, oh, I'm next for the title shot. No. It said, oh, you know what? I want you to fight RDA. I said, fine, I'm here to work. Let's go. I went out there and I put in the work, which they recognized and they gave me the shot. He wants to stand by. He felt entitled. And that's what he's doing. He's hiding behind this. He's claiming that he's an American. You're not an American, man. I'm American. I'm more American than you. So do all that talking, do everything you want to do, but I'm the real American. He's not American. His whole plot is to divide. Oh, make America great again. These people need to get out of here. These people need to go. No immigrants need to be. No, I'm American. I'm trying to unite. He's trying to divide.
Is he next?
You know what? There's a lot of options going on right now. There's a lot of options. A lot of people are shaking up the welterweight division. I mean, great performance after performance. I'm talking, look at 3 weeks in a row. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Performance, performance, performance by welterweights. These guys are doing their thing, and hats off to all those guys doing their thing. So, man, you never know. Like I said, he has to beg me now for that shot. Begging me.
I know you had the surgery. How did it go? And realistically, when's the earliest you can come back, or when would you like to come back?
Yeah, I had the surgery. I actually just walked in the house from physical therapy. I would say probably one of the more painful surgeries that I've had. I was walking around with this big vacuum, whatever they call it, vacuum, this tube sticking out of my leg and my waist,
Damn.
uh, a whole week after that, draining the blood and the fluids out of there. But it's nothing to me. It's part of the game. I've sacrificed so much. I've sacrificed time, relationships, and a big part of it is my health as well, my body. So just another step in it. I'm doing physical therapy and I'm working hard. The doctors say about 2 months for me to actually get back to training. So, after that, we'll see. I have an amazing management team over there at Dominance MMA and with Ali Abdulaziz. So, man, I'll let them worry about that. I don't, like I said, I don't have to call nobody out anymore. I don't have to go out there and try to find fights. They got to come to me now. And if Kobe wants this fight, he needs to beg me.
I heard you last week on Joe Rogan's show, and it was a great interview. And I know you spoke about your father a little bit, and I was just curious. I never heard you talk about your father before. Is your father still in prison at the moment?
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever really spoke about my dad. I mean, amazing man, one of the best men that I know in this life. And he's instilled so much knowledge and so much wisdom in me to where when that situation happened, it really hurt me on the inside because of all the things that this justice system was trying to implicate on him and try to make him feel like he hasn't done his job as a man, as a father, as a provider. So it hurt me big time, and it put one of the biggest chips on my shoulder. As I mentioned on the Joe Rogan show, one of the biggest thing that touched me is they tried to paint this picture, excuse me, about my father, and one of their biggest thing was to say that the reason his kids were excelling in life and doing so well was because of what they were trying to accuse him of, as opposed to him being an excellent man and an excellent father. And so that was one of the biggest chips on my shoulder. Like, my dad did his job in raising us and teaching us what to do and what not to do. And we've worked hard to get to where we are. And you're trying to put all that aside and say that the only reason we're there is because of that. And so that put a big chip on my shoulder, which is kind of one of the driving force in me excelling in everything that I choose to do. And so, yeah, to answer your question, my dad is still there. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, he'll be getting out here soon in the next few months, I believe, or next year.
And what is he in prison for?
To be honest, I don't know the full indictment or the things they were trying to put on there, but I think big spectrum of it was saying that it was a Medicaid fraud or something like that. Some it's. I mean, you can read about it. It happens all the time to all these business people, and so they painted a picture and they basically railroaded my dad and trying to put him away, and they succeeded in doing that. But like I said, fingers crossed. Hopefully, in the next year or so, he'll be out of there.
And how long has he been there for?
My dad's been there now since 2009.
Whoa. Wow. And
Yeah.
where? What city?
He was out in Texas, And now I believe he's in Texarkana,
Wow. And when's the last
Texas.
time you saw him?
I want to say a month before my fight.
Oh, you
Yeah,
went
a
to see
month
him?
before my fight. I was back home. I did. I started this camp, that championship camp down in Dallas. I went out there to work with some of the coaches that I work with while I'm down there. Stephen Wright, Tony Cabello,
Hmm.
and Derek James, amazing stand-up coaches and striking coaches. I went out there and put in some work with them a couple of weeks, and I went down there and saw my dad and spent some time with him before I came back to Florida, my home base, and finished camp.
Does he know what his son accomplished earlier this month?
Oh yeah, he knows. My dad is one. That's one of my biggest fans. He watches all my fights. That was the only fight that he didn't get to watch because that one wasn't on a network television. That was pay
Right.
per view. But yeah, my dad. I'm sure he watched the pre and post fight um, interviews, press conference, and all that. But yeah, my dad is one of my biggest fans. He watches them all. My family is one of my biggest fans, and I love my family very much, and they love me as well.
And just curious, any plans of going back to Nigeria now that you're the first African-born UFC champion? Will you bring that belt home?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's plans. We're working on some things here, some big things, because I don't want to just go back and that's it. Just go back and be received and that's it. I want to go back and bring something back to my country, my homeland, which we want to put some things together. We want to make sure that the funding and everything is there. So when I go back, I'm able to really create better situations for a lot of different people. I want to make a big impact when I go back. So I don't want to just go back and take from there and head out. I want to bring something there. So yeah, there's some big plans. We're still waiting on that presidential invite. So that's on its way soon. I think he might be waiting for Israel to go ahead and complete that second part of it, so he can ask both of us to make that
Wow.
appearance right away. But it's good times right now. I mean, I'm in a different place, Ariel. I'm not worried about all this negative energy, all these negative people talking all this and that. When the time is right, everybody will be dealt with accordingly. Right now, I'm just trying to heal up, love on my family, love on my daughter, and get back to work.
And you certainly deserve that. One last thing for you. After the fight, I spoke to Tyron, and he said that he thinks he has earned the right to get a rematch at some point. He wanted it right away. I don't know if that's going to happen. Do you feel like that's fair? Do you feel like he deserves a rematch?
If it was up to me personally, yeah, I would give him a rematch. I mean, Tyron, I believe, has been a exceptional champion, a great guy, a great dude. Nothing but love and respect for Tyron. This was all business. I just couldn't sit and way back in the shadows and let this other clown run his mouth and talk himself in and out of fight, that the title fight. And so it was my time. That was my time to go out there and do what I do, and I did. So nothing but respect for Tyron. If it was just up to me, of course I would give him a rematch. But it's not just up to me. There's a lot of other forces involved that run the company. So it's not just my decision; it's their decisions as well. So if they feel like they want to go in a different direction, there's nothing I can do to change that.
Kamaru, I really appreciate this. Again, congratulations on the win. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy making history. It's very much deserved, and I hope that you get everything that you want as a result of being champion. And thanks for opening
Thank
up
you.
as you did. It's been really great to see the love, and congratulations that your brother. I know your brother won a fight a couple of weeks ago. Congratulations to him as well.
Yeah, motor. He's slowly building. I mean, he's only been doing this for less than a year, and he's learning. And once he gets everything down, he's gonna be a problem.
Thank you, Kamaru. I appreciate it. All the best.
Thank you, Joe.
All right,
I mean, Ariel.
Ariel.
Sorry
That's
about
right. That's right.
that.
All
My
good.
bad, my man.
All good, all good. There he is, the welterweight champion. He can call me whatever he wants. Great to have him on the show. Congratulations to him on the big win